What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. All right, I'm gonna bring it to you today. The first thing first, the most important thing we need to focus on is to release the Epstein files. We need to keep that at the forefront. The Epstein files are the most important thing we need to be talking about. Outside of some issues that have been going on that I've been doing research on, I haven't figured out all the details, but I'll be working on that and let you know. I heard here recently about the two young, well, at least one, but the two young black men who were found unalive, hung. We need to put pressure on the police officers to do something about that, because that's not something that black people do. And damn sure we ain't doing it in droves. I saw a video today where there was like 4 or 5 people, and this is over some time, and there's more than that, but these are the ones that's been reported on, where black people have been hung. And there's no way. Broken leg, broken arm. I don't want to hear that. And if anybody, and here's the terrible part about it, we got a big ass racist in the office, along with his little racist minions. Had this been Biden's team, they would have been already, FBI would have already been there doing an investigation. But there's nothing yet. But I'll keep on it, because I just really found out about the details, some of it, today and a little bit yesterday. So on my timeline, it didn't show. But we're going to talk more about that probably tomorrow when I get into depth about it. So again, release the Epstein files. Now, if you've been, we had a petition to bring back Jimmy Kimmel for the station to say that they apologize. I haven't seen that apology yet. They brought him back on. He's supposed to be shooting now, or probably already shot, because they usually shoot around 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'll see that episode tonight, wherever you particularly that might be already on. But you got to understand, with Disney, a lot of people canceled their accounts. They had some celebrities who canceled their accounts. Of course, the average, everyday good people, we canceled our accounts, made petitions. I was excited to see how many petitions came out, because it wasn't about a me thing, it was a we thing. The first thing I did was write up a petition, because I was like, we need to sign this shit and get ready to do it and get him back on the air. And then I started seeing another one, and people started sending me some. And I just want you guys to understand something with these petitions too. Nobody said anything. I just know for a fact that these things happen to some people. It's like when you donate to a petition, that money does not come to me. It goes to the petition. Change.org keeps that money to keep that app running or some shit. So that money did not go to me. Just to let you know, I don't receive a penny off of it, nor did I want a penny out of it. It was just for us to organize and a lot of us to get together and talk about, hey, we wanted this, and for them to see it. It was sent to Disney multiple times to show how many. Again, we had probably like 200-300 people, and I'm sure these other petitions, they probably put money behind them, had probably 10,000, whatever the heck it is. But we were a part of making that change. Now, the other thing that made a big part of it, because again, the voice of the people is what changed it. But the other part of that is that of course they were losing money. And I'm going to show you some celebrities that kind of stepped up. I don't care about their politics and things like that. It's just some people that made sense about this particular thing. I think the first one is Joe Rogan. And I want to say a couple more after that. I'll just go ahead and show it.
I definitely don't think that the government should be involved ever in dictating what a comedian can or cannot say in a monologue. That's right. Crazy.
It's crazy.
Now, if the problem is the companies, if they're being pressured by the government, so if that's real, and if people on the right are like, yeah, go get them, oh my God, you're crazy. You're crazy for supporting this.
Thank you for telling them they're crazy. I'm just appreciative that, I mean, I don't think he's the smartest tool in the shed, but he's smarter than the average MAGA. Let's just put it that way. And so by him saying that you have to be bad, but he didn't say bad, I threw this part in there, batshit crazy. You know, it validates, you know, this ideology towards some of those people who are probably falling out of the cults a little bit, and for those who in the cult, for him to be saying this and, you know, they still following him, they're giving it some leeway. So that's a good thing to hear. But to trample on your First Amendment rights when MAGA and Republicans are insane about that Second Amendment, which brings me to the understanding that these people are not bright. Donald Trump talked about changing up the Constitution a little bit, and they just let that shit fly. And this man has really been fucking with the Constitution, and it hasn't dawned on them that the Second Amendment is part of the Constitution. They fuck with the Constitution. You think he's gonna save your Second Amendment? I want you to understand something. Everybody that tried to shoot at Trump was a Republican. We ain't got as many guns as you guys got. It makes any sense that if he's going to try and protect himself and all the other MAGA minions, he's going to be protecting himself from you. No matter how much he tries to, you know, push it over to liberals and Democrats, he's really gaslighting y'all because he's talking about you. You're going to give him access to get rid of your guns. You're going to give it to him because you're that stupid. You're going to give him the access to do it. Keep on playing this game that he's playing with y'all, making y'all hate us so he could take shit away from you. This is not a new game. Politicians have been doing this forever. Get you to hate somebody else so much that you give up your own rights, that you give up your own programs. Trying to tell people, oh, let's get rid of, you know, Medicare, Medicaid, and food for the homeless. Bitch, you homeless. Giving money to the broke. Bitch, you broke. But you gonna sit here and just go along with it because you got more hate in your heart for others than you got love and common sense for yourself. Now say that shit a few times in the mirror and see if your dumb ass start to understand that you are effing yourself. You're not effing us. We've had to survive through shit. Black people are the most resilient human being on the fucking planet. Remember, we started with fucking nothing. Zippo. Negative. And we had a boatload of hate on top of it. People didn't want to give us jack shit. And we survived that. Ain't shit you can do to fuck with black people. You see how cool and calm we are, even though we know we in the midst of the shit. That's because we done been through it. It's autopilot for us. It's gonna fuck your life up, as you see with your farms, as you see with your businesses. Now, I don't know if y'all know something I don't know. Maybe it was just the store I went to yesterday. But let's see in the comments. Is there a milk shortage? I'm not fucking with y'all right now. I went to the shop yesterday, and I promise you, I went to a couple places. The milk was gone. I'm like, what the fuck is this? All that was left was some kind of organic bullshit with a little bit of milk was $10. I was like, when did this happen? So I'm just thinking, I couldn't find nobody in the store to ask. But I'm asking y'all, just in case you know, I know it's off topic, but just off the top of the dome, I was like, is there a milk shortage I didn't catch? Because I've been trying to find it, but I just didn't know. But I mean the entire shelf, yo. And this was not like late at night where everything's going to be restocked. This shit was like noon, afternoon, 11:55 or some shit. So I don't know. And it was a big store too, so I was shocked at that. Anyway, that's off topic, but it just threw me. But if anybody know anything about it, let me know. All right, I don't have the facts on that. So anyway, you got people like him educating these dipshits. And again, they're only going to listen to him. They ain't listen to us, no matter how much. You know, I ain't even trying to get them to totally listen to me because I'm talking shit about them. I already don't try that game. Trying to educate a dumbass person is futile. I mean, what are you going to do? They're going to listen to you because you talk to them nicely? No, they think they're geniuses. They're bright and have no reason to believe it, but they believe it. It is what it is. All right, now, let's continue listening on what he's saying.
Because this will be used on you.
I just know when the government begins to interfere, when the government says, I'm not pleased with you, so we're going to orchestrate a way to silence you. It's the wrong direction for our country. It might sound stupid, but the thing I did, this morning I'm canceling my Disney Plus. I'm trying to say with the pocketbook that I do not support what they're doing with Jimmy.
At some point,
Come on, girl.
they've got to stand up for the sake of the people who rely on all of these institutions to have integrity and to, at some point, be the guardrails against a tyrant.
She's talking about the titans of industry. She's talking about your Mark Zuckerbergs and the others. I don't know why. Elon and, you know, all the rest of them. She's saying the titans of industry got to stop cowering to these people because that's what's causing a lot of problems that we're having, especially with this Disney stuff and the ability for people to think that they can just automatically tell us what we can do or what we can and cannot see. As you still understand, Sinclair is still controlling what people can see. You know what I mean? Sinclair and Nexstar, the ones who are trying to do the merger, I guess, with ABC and Disney. I think that's Nexstar. Sinclair might have been the other one. But Sinclair's the one that really demanded that Jimmy Kimmel offer apology and a hefty donation to Charles Kirk. I was like, man, suck my left knee. What the fuck you talking about? And I was like, boy, you bet not put no money in their pocket. I don't care if your show don't ever come back on. I ain't watching an ounce of your shit, not even on social media, if you give them a dime. And I didn't hear of anything, give him any money. But it's insane that they would sit there and ask that question. I'm like, what do you deserve from that? Just because the man said it's a MAGA? Oh, hello. I mean, you call a thing a thing. I'm going to keep on saying it over and over again because you guys don't like it, and I'm not Jimmy Kimmel. Fucking I. I'm not Jimmy Kimmel. And whatever you take from me, you take from me. That dude was more MAGA than he was any kind of liberal or Democrat. 100%. Tyler Robinson was MAGA from 12 until whatever. With his family, full on MAGA. He got out of the house, I think, 18 or something like that. For 6 or 7 years, this dude was full on MAGA in the full on MAGA family. So you guys raised that animal. So don't even trip. The ideology that man had raising that kid and his mom lives in that boy. Not unless that's not his real daddy. And where his daddy's a Democrat. But no, don't seem like mom was a hoe. So we dealing with mom and dad together forever, riding with MAGA. And they raised a little dipshit that killed Charlie Kirk. And y'all got enough. This is what kills me. I mean, Erica, whatever. Sorry that your husband died. But you got all this like, we got to forgive and forget. But your husband was so hateful toward black people. This motherfucker didn't forgive and forget them. And I'm pretty sure you haven't either. The only reason you forgiving and forget this dude was a MAGA white boy. It's the only reason. While everybody gaslight, the only reason you forgiving this fool, saying that, oh, we got to find a better way and find love. I don't have no belief that the way you spoke at that first one you did, not at the funeral, the way you spoke there, like getting back at people, you had this revenge type of thing. Then you go to church a few days later or whatever it is, or whatever they had their convention. Now you got some kind of I give forgiveness. It's crazy how you forgave so quickly in this process. It's crazy. But you and your husband talking all this shit about black women don't have the brain processing power to have positions that white people have. Sounds like the 1800s, 1700s when people would say some shit like, you know, black people they're not smart enough. They'll never be as equal to white people. I mean, some of the most racist, disrespectful shit. And you was married to something like that. A dude who said those types of things you procreated with. And you want us to believe that you give a damn about anybody else? You let that one white dude who killed you forgive him, go ahead. But had it been a black dude, you would have wanted to string him up. You would have wanted to string him up, no doubt. Nobody's stupid. You may think we are, but we're not. Now, getting back to the fact that Disney came back and said, hey, we're going to let Jimmy Kimmel back. Well, you got to understand something. You always think, I mean, not always, as human beings, we always, hope that people are going to do the right thing for the right reasons. But when it comes to businesses, which it still don't have to be that way, but when it comes to businesses who are falling hook, line, and sinker to capitalism that fucks people instead of capitalism that cares for people, they didn't bring him back because they thought, well, let's change everything back. No, they started losing money, which we understood that we're going to take money out of their pockets and make them act right. Okay. But here's the thing. They had a plan already before this happened. I don't believe they knew of this before they decided to do it. But they already had a plan for Disney or ABC to raise the prices on their streaming services. Already had a plan on it. Matter of fact, it went into play today. The day in which they bring back Jimmy Kimmel, in which, again, it was already going to be planned. Now, if you want to go back to it, it's going to cost you more. I don't know how much more. They didn't give a price that I saw. The article was just saying that the price is going to hike up anyway. And now that they lost, here's the thing. You're going to always have attrition, meaning people are going to fall to the wayside for financial reasons. They're going to, whenever something rises in the price, you start to calculate, do I watch it that much? What TV show am I watching on whatever? In this situation, Apple. What TV show am I watching on Apple that's really good? Or what films on here? And you go reassess and you check it out and say, oh, I don't see that. And most of these streaming sites, if you are a person who watches them and uses the platform, you'll see that there's like 10 really good things on it. And all of them you don't pretty much seen. So you're just waiting for new shit to pop off. And so you go back and you look at it. Is it worth the whatever, $9.99, $14.99? I've already seen it. Might as well just try another service or something of that nature. So they know the attrition is already going to happen with people switching over, possibly just because of the fact that the price went up. But we, because of what they did with the FCC, we cut out before they launched the new prices. And so a lot of people left. They lost billions or so, few billions of dollars that they won't tell anybody how much they lost, but you can go and find out how much their stock was and how much it went down to. And that's how they estimate it's like $3.8 billion that they lost. Well, after losing that, on top of that, you're going to have an attrition of people saying, I ain't paying whatever they moved it up to. Let's say if it's $9, let's say they moved it up to the minimum of being $14.99. I'm not paying that. So they're going to lose millions on that. Right? So that's what they was worried about. And this whole thing of people still dropping out because of what they did to Jimmy Kimmel, they brought him back. It all made dollars in order for them to make it sense of it. You feel me? So we knew we was going to be messing with their money, but we did not know how much we was messing with them because most of us did not know they was going to have a price hike. So bringing him back is still going to hurt them because if most of these people aren't coming back for a higher price. And that's their worry. So we'll see in the coming days, weeks, and months if it's hurt them and put a dent in their pocket for good. Because again, people canceled their going to amusement parks, And you can kind of get that back. You haven't really losing the account. But people are dropping a lot of things, cruises, and those things. People aren't going back to. It's already canceled. It's a done wrap. They don't got their money back. Too much of a hassle to start it back up again. They on a staycation like a mug. But Moke Mike, it's gonna be good, right? Talking about Jimmy Kimmel's show. Let me go ahead and put you guys' comments up here. Sometimes it don't show up for some reason. All right. There you go. All right. So that's what happened with Disney. Now, Brendan Carr, the FCC chairman, he's the one that came out and said, it'd be, basically it'd be a shame, if you don't do this type of thing. He had that mafioso type of, it's gonna happen. But basically the threat that he came out with, and he let that threat ride until society starts saying, wait a minute. And even Ted Cruz was like trying to give his, mafioso type of talk and shit like that, like he's in the mafia. That old Tea Partier MAGA minion looking like the father off of fucking the Munsters or some shit. He decided to come out and say, and like the grandfather, I said, came out to say, this is a mafia type move. It'd be a shame if, you didn't do what we think you should do. He let it ride until society, again, us, the people, said that shit's pretty fucked up. Donald Trump didn't say nothing about it. But he had to come out and reverse his statement, even though Donald Trump still supported him. Why do you have to back up off of it? Because he knew the shit was wrong. And not only is it wrong, it's illegal. See, one thing I'm starting to gather is some of these people are in his group don't believe Donald Trump is going to be around a long time. And they're starting to realize, and I ain't talking about like he's going to die or anything like that. Maybe he get peace next year or whatever it may be. But they just realize this boat that they're riding on isn't going to be, a lifelong boat. And there's not going to be any kind of like, when it starts to sink, ain't nobody trying to save them. And so I think Brendan Carr realized that he could get easily thrown under the bus. And if he gets thrown out of the Trump situation and the things he's done illegally, once he's out, he can be sued. He can go to jail for doing the shit that he said he did. And he's realizing, I don't know what Democrats or whatever may be fearful of, but I think he's worried that the Democrats, or at least somebody, I don't know who he's worried about, could put his ass in jail for what he's doing. So he's come out and try to back off. I never bribed anybody. I never said anything. Now this is, I think we have just a quote from him. And his quote, let's see if I get it right, basically says, the FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, says his easy way or the hard way comment about Jimmy Kimmel wasn't meant as a threat to pull licenses if ABC didn't fire him. So what was it, Brendan Carr? I don't understand. We don't understand. What was it if that wasn't the case? Because it sure as hell sounded like that was the case. Right? That's what it sounded like to me. I think it's about everybody else who had common fucking sense. Not something that his crowd really rolls with. Common sense is not their thing. None whatsoever. But we're going to see who is this? Tom Homan. You notice he got caught up. Tom Homan is this czar for immigration. The one that has so much hate and vitriol toward the people. The one who was professing, walking around in army fatigues and shit like that. All green, talking about, we're going to get these immigrants, illegal immigrants, and threw innocent people into Alcatraz, alligator Alcatraz. Had people shipped over to Venezuela for freaking months on end. Yeah, that guy. Always talking tough on Fox. Well, it turns out this asshole was under investigation and took $50,000 for a bribe to get somebody into the White House because him and Donald Trump are cool, and he knew the position that he was going to get. So therefore, he was trying to get a lot of these people who have prisons, who have money to buy prisons, and told them, basically, other people in that process as well, said that here's an end, Tom Homan, and he can get all these contracts for you guys once he gets in. So he took a $50,000 bribe. Well, he wasn't in office yet. So there's kind of like a loophole there. But he knew he was going to be in office. And that right there kind of puts him in the position of taking that bribe and it being illegal. Either way, the Dems have opened up a probe into Tom Homan about this bribery. And I can't wait to see it because there's supposed to be tape. I'm guessing video and audio tape, but you never know. But it's supposed to be tape of him taking this money. You're like, okay, then let's see it happen. Now, here's the problem I have with that. Here's the problem I have with that. And I'm happy that they're going to be doing this. And I don't know, do it fast, Democrats. I want this to happen because I'm getting tired of the shit happening, but and saying you're going to do something. If this is true, which I believe it is, but if it is true and this tape bears fruit, I only got one question, or I got a shit ton of questions, but I got one person that needs to be questioned. And Democrats, you need to bring the person I'm about to say, you need to bring him into a hearing and ask him questions like you're asking these MAGA minions questions. Because I don't give a damn about being Democrat, independent, all that other shit. All I care about is right and wrong, facts and lies, evidence and bullshit. I want to know. Merrick Garland, step to the front of the class. Bring your ass to the hearing, Democrats. Bring him to the hearing. Ask him why all this shit happened. And it took him forever to try and charge Donald Trump. Donald Trump got that charge. Had he been charged in the fucking summer, he would have been in jail serving time already. But no, you took your fucking time. And I want to know why. I really do. As an American citizen, I want to know why the Democrat Party decided to not do its job. And that ain't even the Democrat Party. It's literally who he had in office, because it's supposed to be non-political as far as the FBI and the CIA and all of these alphabet people. You guys are supposed to be doing your job independently. So as an independent organization, Merrick Garland, why'd you rest on your fucking thumbs and did not do your job? There are many people. Tom Homan should be in jail for what he did. And if you had this information, why the fuck was it not brought out? Again, I want to root out corruption, period. I don't know. And again, these are assumptions that Democrats, you guys are doing so much dirt. You're letting other people get away with dirt and saying, oh, that's not enough dirt. I don't give a damn. I don't care who did it. Everybody should get it. Everybody should get it. If y'all doing dirt in there, everybody, I don't care if it's somebody I like or somebody I can't stand. You breaking the rules. You taking money on the side to F over the American people. The American people need to stand up and say, just like we did with Disney, fuck all that. It's about time Americans say, quit the fuckery, man. Like, I remember a while back ago, a politician, it was a Republican, but I don't know how many of them believe the same things as far as Democrats' independence. But he said, this was a Republican, and it was on, I think he was on CNN. This is when CNN used to have people that were Republicans on their show way back, you know, before it was crazy Republicans. It was just regular ass Republican. And that person said, I don't have to tell you the truth. The public doesn't deserve the truth from me. But when I'm under oath, you can get the truth. Said that shit so nonchalant. I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean you shouldn't owe everybody the truth? And only when you get your hand on the Bible and you have the responsibility to tell the truth. And if not, you can be sued or put in jail. That's the only time you're going to tell the American people that vote for you the truth. And he said it. Like I'm telling you, it's like, that's just the way it is. I don't owe it to you. I want to say it was one of the gyms. It had to be like the one that was a gym teacher or whatever and molested boys, or he knew when boys were molested and didn't do nothing about it. I keep forgetting that dude's name. I see his face. But I want to say it was him. Had no problem lying to the public on news. Was his responsibility to tell America the truth. I was like, wow. Jim Jordan. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And it kind of flew over on the show too. Like the anchor was like, fair point type of thing. I'm like, fair point? What is this? Then I kind of knew. I already had an assumption, but that was the time I knew that news was dying. The idea that you would listen to this man tell people on your show that he doesn't owe them the truth, and for you to play it off like fair point type of thing, like politicians are gonna be politicians, I knew at that point we were going down the tubes. I had my suspicions for at least a decade because I was working in that industry and I started seeing the sensationalism was more powerful than real facts. The idea of getting on something first without actually doing a lot of homework, but you wanted everybody to have eyeballs on your station because we got breaking news, and then you bring out some news that's already been broken. This shit ain't breaking, it was broken. It already been said earlier in the day, breaking news. And then you make a huge thing without really even knowing the facts. And I also knew news was going down the toilets and down the tube when TMZ became the main news source. They never vet shit. They go out with a camera and get news, and whoever told them, they believed it. And so they started getting information. But the reason why their information turned out to be breaking is because TMZ did what other news stations never did. TMZ news stations never pay for their news. Only stringers, if you don't know what that is. A stringer would be somebody like who's a professional photographer. They would go out and shoot the stuff and come in and tell you, oh, I saw a fire out in whatever, buttfuck, whatever, New York. And you say, oh, okay. And you go, all right, here you go. And they look at it and be like, oh, I didn't know that happened. There was a fire out there. Okay. Boom. They did it. They get paid $150, $300, whatever. And it airs, they get paid so much money. But when you go to another aspect of this, it's like TMZ was paying everybody just for stories. They probably still do it to the point where news can't compete with somebody saying, I'm going to give it to news. There's a possibility I get money. There's a possibility I won't. Oh, let me go to TMZ. I'm definitely going to get way more money than news will give me. News will give me 300. TMZ will give you 3,000. You're like, oh, fuck news. That's how you become number one with news, even if it ain't always factual. That's when I knew news was going down the tubes. And so when you start to watch stuff and you see people, like again, with Fox, trying to bring out stuff and twist it to misconstrue or change what facts are. I mean, when Kelly Conway, I think she was the originator, at least in the media, with, I can see her face now, the crypt keeping looking heifer. I remember she said something to the effect on a Fox show. They told her something. Even Fox was like, they told the truth because it was daytime. They did tell the truth a little bit in the daytime back in the day. And it's like they said something to her about this is a fact. And then she said something. And he said, that's not really fact. And she said, oh, it's alternative fact. I was like, what the fuck is that? And that's when I learned alternative facts, or whatever the fuck we feel it is, as opposed to what it actually is an alternative fact. And that was just the gateway for stupid people to say, I'm smart too. Really? You came with your own set of facts. Like it was this build a fact out of a lie. Like Build-A-Bear, they came in and tried to build a fact. It's like the facts. You don't have to build it. It's already there. Nope, I want one that represents my feelings, what I believe. And that's how we end up splitting this damn country into dipshits who think facts or think lies are facts, and people like ourselves who go out of their way to make sure what we're saying and we mention that are facts or actually facts can be vetted. They just say them. Donald Trump will say some shit. See, the amphetamine is not good for you. Say what? What the fuck is that? That drug, Tylenol, is not good for you. I'm like, huh? You mean the acetaminophen? It's like, this dude was all over the place. You should have saw that shit. I'm pretty sure y'all saw it. But that's what he said today. Just out of the gate, just nowhere. It's like, what? I just came to say that acetylphosphatidylcholine, A, B, C, D, F, G, espialidocious is not good for you. You're like, what is this fool saying? Oh, Tylenol. The most safest drug that we've known for pregnant women to take. Doctors have always said, you can't take this, you can't take aspirin, you can't take that. The only thing you can take is Tylenol. And this man's trying to take the thing, that only thing you got to stop your pains. Is not something you can take. And why would you take information about being pregnant from the dude that took away your right to be able to control your own body? Women. It doesn't make any sense. And Tylenol, please sue the orange off this fool. Please go to court and sue the orange off of him. Because you guys got the data. In court of law, the data will prove that that drug is good for women to take when they're pregnant. It does not cause what they say it causes. They don't have any actual empirical data about that. You do. And I'm not usually for a drug company, trust and believe. But this is something, I have never seen a doctor in my life tell me Tylenol was good for you. I don't know where they go and find these dipshit people. But it's not something that, ask your doctor. It's not something that's fully believed with people with common fucking sense, or even doctors with any kind of sense that would tell you something like this. But this man gets out there and tells you this nonsense. And all I want the reporters to do whenever he says something stupid is say, are you releasing the Epstein files today? No? Well, nobody want to hear this shit you talking about. And when he goes off and gets cantankerous with people, I'm waiting for that reporter to sit there and say, he said, well, you know what? You're not a good reporter. I said, you know what? It's the facts are in. You're not a good president. Say it back to his face. I mean, I'm tired of you guys just kind of cowering. Well, but I want to, no, shut all that. No, this man don't respect you. He disrespecting you. John Carl, go to disrespect school for a minute. Ask some of your black friends, if you got any, how you can have some quick snips back at him. Get some of them prepared. Because this whack-ass capitulation stuff is sad. I know, he'll kick you out of the room. He wants to do it anyway. He wants to do it anyway. And ABC, look what you did to your reporters. You took the wind out of their sails. Here they are asking legitimate questions. And what does he do? Yeah, you're not a good reporter. And your station sucks because they gave me $16 million. Or what'd you say? No valid. You're not valid because you gave me $16 million. But it's a legitimate question. Yeah, but I got $16 million out of you and you ain't no good because I got $16 million. That's what they did to you, ABC. They neutered your dumb ass. And you sat there and said, okay, I'll give it to him. This is your second offense. You gave that man money for no reason. He extorted you. The shit should be illegal. You should have took him to court for extortion. He's in public extorting you. A crime. And you were like, okay. This comes back to Kamala Harris. She's saying, You guys have got to basically man the fuck up already. You give him an inch, he's going to take a mile. How you get a grown-ass human being and become a huge fucking corporation and you haven't learned that this type of negotiation never ends well? That's probably why you still in broadcast TV, legacy TV, which is dying. You should have diversified. You should be moving away from it because ain't nobody really watching that shit anymore. Not like they used to. Only people they're watching is the sycophants are getting their propaganda from Fox. That's the majority of the people that are watching these types of programming now. They tune in to get their lie of the day, the lying hours of the day. And don't watch anything else to double check or fact check or nothing. They don't believe in fact checking. They don't want to be wrong. You check facts because you want to know if you're right or wrong. They want to know that they're right. And the only way they know that is they listen to you. And they know they can't listen to anybody else because if you double check anything that Fox says, it turns out to be a lie. And then they don't trust anybody else. That's all it is. Thank you, Five Alarm Fire. I don't know what's going on. I'll look up here in a minute. What is Kenneth talking about? I see a bunch of stuff is being deleted. Is it about Kenneth is always asking about the Epstein files, which is understandable. Right, Jeffrey? I see you, Jeffrey. What are you saying, Garrett? Want to watch so-called legacy TV. So, we got Tom Homan accepting $50,000. Now, Kelly O'Donnell did a nice piece on him, and I'm not going to show all of it, but she kind of explains it in just like a minute or so, less than 2 minutes, about what happened. And it was on MSNBC. No, just NBC News. So I'm going to show her part of explaining it all. And then we're going to go into what Homan said, I think, on Fox, because that's pretty much all he does is Fox. Oh, it doesn't like it's showing up. What's going on? Kelly O'Donnell. We'll see if it pops up. I'm not sure because it looks like it's there, but we don't know.
Border czar Tom Homan.
There are consequences for violating our laws.
Is under scrutiny himself, tied to an undercover FBI operation last year that recorded Homan accepting $50,000 in cash from agents posing as businessmen seeking government contracts in a future Trump administration. That's according to MSNBC, citing multiple people familiar with the probe and internal documents. Today, the White House went further than its initial weekend statement and flatly denied that Homan accepted cash.
Mr. Homan never took the $50,000 that you're referring to, so you should get your facts straight.
Oh.
She's like, he never took it. Here's the thing that kills me about it. Was he ever in a situation where somebody was offering him $50,000? They don't deny he did it. They're trying to skate around and say, when it came time for him to get the money, which means he would have had to have agreed to have done it. I don't understand how people I understand MAGA not knowing, but I'm not understanding how you can't come to the conclusion just by what she's saying that Tom Homan took money, or at least asked for money, so that he can get people in to get contracts with the government because he was tight with Donald Trump. And in my own mind, if it was more than $50,000, I would probably think Donald Trump was in on it. But $50,000, this was a side gig of his own, because Trump would have asked for millions. But This don't fall too far down from the tree, man. I mean, think about it. Tom Homan is cool with Donald Trump. What has he learned that Donald Trump does? Donald Trump bribes people for money. We see it. $16 million from ABC, wanting money in kind for people who want to get their own pardons. Celebrities paying millions of dollars to get a pardon for crimes they done. Pardoning the January 6 people because they did what he wanted to do. What did that do for them? I have no doubts in my mind by some of the actions that I've seen from some of these ICE people. Some of these ICE people are MAGA that did January 6th. Mask on because they don't want you to know it's them. I believe it's them because when you start to see some of the shit they do, there's a couple videos where they're pushing older women, knocking them down and shooting them with these pellet guns close up front. I mean, like 2 or 3 feet in the face, bro. These are MAGA people. That is not regular ICE. These are people they've been hiring to give them all this money just so they can fulfill their own fantasy of being an officer and not having to abide by the laws. You can't tell me a career ICE person is out here shooting old ladies in the head and throwing them to the ground. There was another one, and these were older women, where she was just standing there, and an ICE person, this is a white lady, this ain't nobody Latin or Asian or black, white lady, standing right there. This dude comes up, pushes her down, shoves her, she falls to the ground. And she's screaming, and this fool just walks off. Another one knocks a lady down, shoots her with these pellet guns, whatever. She's got so much nerve and I don't know, adrenaline, kind of a bigger lady. She gets up and goes back at him and just screaming at him, you know, calling him certain names or whatever. This same dude is such a hothead. Again, his mask don't fell off. You see it's a white little, you know, short dude. ICE had to hold him back because he was still trying to go get this woman when she was walking away. He went over there and tried to choke her and shit, knock her down on the ground. I'm like, these ain't regular fucking ICE people. This is these people who are MAGA that he let out. That army of people that he let free that were criminals. Everybody in Donald Trump's realm are criminals who will do dirt for him and break laws. That's even for people who are who are working for his administration. Pam Bondi's breaking laws right now. You know she is. She's out here doing shit that she ain't supposed to be doing. He wants her to go after people just for the hell of it. Telling her she got to go after them because our reputation is going to be bad. What kind of reputation is that? Criminality is good? Let's bring crime back. Let's bring back the Wild Wild West. He fired a MAGA, diehard MAGA, for not charging Letitia James, Adam Schiff, and others. Well, the guy's like, well, there's no evidence for that. I can't do anything with that. What am I going to do? Just make up evidence? He don't care. He doesn't care. Make it happen. It doesn't have to be legal. I'll make it so. I'll call my boys up in Supreme Court and they'll let me do whatever the fuck I want to do. And these people have to wrestle with just an ounce of morality. Pam Bondi was a lawyer or a prosecutor or something like that she was before. If she had any ounce of morality, she's struggling with it. Because she's trying to do what he's telling her to do, but there ain't no evidence to do it. And he's getting more and more pissed, coming out and saying, well, you're going to do something, do it. If you ain't going to do it, don't do it. If they're innocent, they're innocent, but they're guilty. They're guilty. I'm like, So you've already pronounced them guilty without even the evidence. And you're telling people to go after people, which is also against the law. You're not supposed to do that as a president, to be able to tell the FBI to actually charge people, the DOJ to charge people for a crime that they haven't found. Those independent agencies charge people based on the evidence they have, not by the orders they get by the president. That's not the precedent that presidents do. Only Trump is doing this shit. And here's the part about it. This is what I worry about, ladies and gentlemen. In life, humans are flawed. And when you give humans power, if they don't have a morality to begin with, all it's going to do is multiply the type of person you are. Us giving power to the next Democratic president has to be somebody that has morality. Because if they don't, the walls that Donald Trump has torn down will only be an open door for that person to be just as corrupt as Donald Trump, but on the other side. We need to get rid of this ideology, weed it out. But right now, there's a demonic Democrat somewhere realizing if he can get away with this shit and he don't pull it off, I'm going to try and run. Somebody we don't know is that way, but once power's in his or her hands, they're going to have that opportunity. And this is what MAGA is not recognizing. They think that, Democrats are wimps and they're going to run us over no matter what. And honestly, that's what it appears to be in many cases. They don't fight dirty like the Republicans do. But I think they're going to be in for a rude awakening, because once you open the door to evil, it will produce more evil. And we got to be careful into who we elect. Because if we have anybody that has that same inkling, that same type of angst and evil inside of them that's a Democrat, we're going to set this world on fire. It will be a war. We got to fight them, but we got to have a higher morality than them. We can fight dirty with them, but we got to find somebody who can do the dirt, but still has a good heart to do shit right. I don't know who that is right now. Still, my money's on Kamala Harris, but this country is racist as fuck. So we'll see. You got Donald Trump continuing down this path. This is O'Donnell's package or video. You'll see what Homan actually continues to do.
According to the report, the investigation stalled after Mr. Trump returned to office and was officially closed in recent weeks. A joint FBI and DOJ statement said after a review, they found no credible evidence of any criminal wrongdoing. The White House called the investigation begun by the Biden Justice Department blatantly political.
You had FBI agents going undercover to try and entrap one of the president's top allies and supporters. The White House and the president stand by Tom Homan 100%.
Okay, now let's get to the next thing of his response.
Nothing criminal. I did nothing illegal. And there's hit piece after hit piece after hit piece. And I'm glad the FBI and DOJ came out and said, said that nothing illegal happened, and nothing, no criminal activity. You're talking about a guy who spent 34 years enforcing the law. I mean, I left a very successful business that I ran to come back and work for a government again. I'm back on a government paycheck.
All right, here's a problem with that. This man never admits that he didn't do it. He goes off on a tangent, but he never says, I didn't do that. He says, I didn't do anything illegal. And I'm glad they came out and said that. But here's the thing. It started under Joe Biden. Okay? But it ended under Trump. And once Trump came in, they dismissed it. Remember when they came into office, Doge and all that was deleting all types of shit, getting rid of cases. Elon Musk got rid of investigations into his businesses. Closed them down, defunded them. Tom Homan. They have This is how Donald Trump bribes these people to do what he wants them to do. They'll break laws and he'll be like, damn, I thought you was a law enforcement officer for so many years and now you're not making that much money because you're working on a government salary and all that. Where's the $50,000, bro? I ain't got time for all the bullshit. Where the $50,000? If you didn't take it, where's that? It's got to be known somewhere. If it's not put back into the coffers or the coffers of the FBI, because that's how they get their money. They get that money, it's marked, then they give it to you. If said money is not back to where the fuck it was at, somewhere that money's either missing or back where it's at. That's a simple situation. But just because it was dismissed don't mean shit. It means it was dismissed by Donald Trump's people. We still want to see Epstein files, which Donald Trump is in. We know this. And Kash Patel was like, well, I never told Donald Trump about these documents, that Donald Trump's name was in there. But I spoke to Bondi. So did Bondi speak to Donald Trump? Of course, we know she did. It's already stated. So how did she find out? The files are with you, bruh. I just talk to her every day. I talk to her every day. Again, these people are crooked. If this put this shoe on the other foot, and you don't even have to have this much information. Think about this for a hot second. When the Republicans were trying to find out what was going on with the Epstein files, they didn't get this far, even though they were in control of the House, but not the Senate. When when Biden was president, they were in control of the House. But see, they spent their time in the House looking at Biden's son. They weren't looking for these Epstein files. So they easily could have went to the Epstein files, but they didn't. They didn't go to the Epstein files. So why didn't they do that? Meaning that they keep on saying that the Democrats should have done it. You were in control of the House, and it was your party that was begging for this. We had a Democrat president, yes, but the House was yours. And you were the biggest ones complaining about it at the time that we need to get this information because you was blaming it on Democrats. If you had it on the Democrats, why weren't you having hearings about it? That was on you, Republicans. Keep on trying to blame it on Democrats. The Senate was ours. The House was yours. You didn't come up. Your House was so ineffective. You had the worst House in American history. You guys didn't get shit accomplished. Just chasing stuff to protect Donald Trump. So all this time, your MAGA people and Donald Trump was feeding the MAGA people this whole thing about the Epstein files. And you guys were saying it was Democrats, it was the Clintons, they had this cabal on Pizzagate and all this other shit. You said that. All while saying it was a deep state, but your guys were in control of the House and they could have got into the deep state, but they didn't because there was no such thing as a deep state. You know what the deep state is? MAGA, Donald Trump. They're the ones with the deep state. I don't say this. I heard this from them. Right? Russ Vought literally said it in an undercover interview that he wanted to create a deep state, which was this shadow, organization inside the government that was going to root out all of this, problems and so forth. But it's like, root out what? There wasn't nothing there. The only batshit crazy stuff that came out of this shit was you had your Q. That was you guys talking about somebody was in the White House. That was somebody on your team. Democrats didn't have that. They bring up shit and then blame everybody else for the shit they create. But it had nothing to do with Dems. Just like this boy who shot Charlie Kirk had shit to do with Dems. Has everything to do with your batshit party. 100%. But we got Tom Homan taking $50,000. He didn't say he didn't take it. He said, I didn't break any laws. Because he doesn't think taking that money is breaking the law. And it gets back to Merrick Garland again. Hey, Merrick, where the hell were you at? Why were you absent doing your particular job? And let's just say you weren't absent. You have to explain yourself. You can't just walk out of the office and then tell us why you didn't charge these people for crimes they obviously fucking did and they are admitting that they did. I'm getting tired of this. Well, people's running for president, so it's going to look political. No, it's going to look like you followed the law, fool. What looks political is that you bypassed the law because somebody chose to put their name in the hat to become the president of the United States. That sounds like fucked up, as opposed to actually chasing down the truth. And because you did not chase the truth, because you did not charge him early enough, we have this tyrant as our president doing some of the most egregious things in this country. Like that Tylenol ban, for one. But if you saw my video earlier today, the video was about Charlie is eating dirt. I don't know what that's all about. I gotta check it out. But if you saw earlier today about Donald Trump, I saw a clip and it said, oh man, he's live right now on some station or another. So I'm on my phone, I get online, and I start to watch a little bit of him. Before I even got on it, I put out that video before it even started. Actually, I got the information right before he started, actually. And I put out the video and I said, Donald Trump is about to show the world how basically dumb as fuck this country is as him as a leader. The entire world is about to see this dumbassery that is Donald Trump. He's going to get out there and say some shit that just doesn't correlate with the truth or even fucking like common sense or sanity. It's going to be a bunch of word salads that has nothing to do with anything. Now, I didn't foresee him doing the shit he did do. All of it, I didn't foresee that. I would think that they would laugh at him. I would think that there would probably be some jeers or like silence when he actually wanted some reaction because he was going to say something stupid. But I didn't think this man was going to do the shit that he did. And it was just, it was extra long. I couldn't watch it all. And one, this dude, this is how disrespectful Donald Trump is to these other countries. Donald Trump's speech was an hour and something long. That was 4 times as long than he was supposed to have. He wasn't allotted that time. He stole that time. This man's a consummate thief. He even steals time. He was supposed to be done. This man went 3/4 more than what he was supposed to be doing. And they had to sit there and listen to this egotistical orange roach speak. And representing Americans. Just terrific. Just terrific. I was like, oh shit, who's listening to this man? I know many of them getting translations took this shit out their ear. Like, this dude is highly disrespectful to everybody while trying to pump himself up. Because nobody else is going to do it. Nobody there will give Donald Trump the love that his mama never gave him. It's sad. Thank you, Falling on Fire, for the donation. I'll check it out when I'm done. I don't know if you guys have noticed, as I'm talking, it's hard for me to turn to my left. It hurts. I did something to my neck, shoulder right here. Oh my God. It's been painful the entire time. I took Tylenol and all that. See, Donald Trump, I took Tylenol. But it still didn't work. I need something stronger. So when I get finished here, I'm going to take a rest and try and figure out what's going on with this. Put some icy hot type stuff on there. No promotion for any brand, but that's not even the name of the brand. It's something else. But anyway, yeah, I'll look at it. I'll definitely look at whatever you sent me. What was I? The Tom Homan aspect of it all. But with Donald Trump in the United Nations, that's where it was at. These are the things that Donald Trump said. Again, well over an hour, 4 times as much. Egotistical, idiotic. America loses its standing in the world like every 5 seconds this man is breathing. It's just insane. I blame his mama and his daddy. I blame them 100%. They're dead, but I still blame them. Well, y'all ain't in heaven. Look down. Y'all in hell somewhere because y'all raised this little roach. All right. Let's go ahead and listen. I'm sorry. We're going to go ahead and listen to him talk. But the first thing that happened, this is one thing he talked about that I didn't see at the time. I got the video. He came into the building and he was going up an escalator. He started to go up the escalator. The escalator stopped. And then he had to walk up there to the top. And so he had to bring that up because, you know, he should have been treated like royalty, as if people turned off the fucking escalator for him. Just slow, man. He's got such a thin ass, like, he's got thin skin, egotistical crybaby. But it turns out what you're about to see, the escalator, was his people's fault. They turned it off. And without finding out who did it, he went and blamed it on the UN. Just, God.
Schedule, and you know we love that punctuality.
Yes.
And the First Lady also going to address the UN as well as she arrives with her husband, and they go up the escalator this time.
So I heard a few questions being shouted there, but no responses. Stand by. I don't know if there's audio on that or not.
Chuck Schumer.
Okay.
All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. We both stood.
It stopped at the very beginning.
And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. Many years ago, a very successful real estate developer in New York,
I'll tell you, rude,
known as Donald J. Trump, I bid on the renovation and rebuilding of this very United Nations complex. I remember it so well. I said at the time that I would do it for $500 million, rebuilding everything.
Nobody wanted to do work with you, bro. You sank 6 casinos. Why on earth would they want you owning something that you can't keep shit open for? This is a testament of them doing the right thing, that this damn facility is paid for and still standing. Otherwise, it would have went bankrupt, just like you did. This dude be bragging about how horrible of a business person he is. Like, I was right. No, you weren't. They're still there. Who cares? You would have bought it. I would have put all these floors and all these different things and gaudy gold all over the place. Would have did a great job. I would have did a great job. But you would have overspent because you don't know how to spend, and you would have went broke, and they would have been left with the bill because you don't pay shit. These people were smart not to do business with you. If they looked at your business past, they would have known fucking better. And obviously they did. And you're out here trying to brag and say, like, I would have did better. No, there would be a foreclosure sign on that bitch right now if you had gotten it. Gosh. And rude, Sinclair and Nexstar, from what I heard, those 2 combined, 1 out of every 5 people or something like that watching TV watch those their networks. They have, I think by itself, Sinclair has like 20 something, no, 30, I think 30 something ABC affiliates. Sinclair, I don't know, not Sinclair, but Nexstar, they're trying to merge, so I don't know how many ABC affiliates they have, but both of them have pledged not to show Jimmy Kimmel. They're going to put something in its place. And I even said that about that yesterday. If you live near any one of those stations, you can go to, it was Sinclair. I was looking at it online. I did it yesterday. Let me see. Sinclair. broadcast. The station was sbgi.net, and you can look up TV stations. That's Sinclair. I didn't look up Nexstar, but Sinclair, they have 20 or 30 something ABC affiliates, and if they don't show it, I'd boycott their station, because they're trying to party favor with Donald Trump and F with the First Amendment. And here's the thing, Nexstar and I guess Sinclair, they're trying to expand their reach, trying to get the FCC to go from 37, 39% or something like that you can own before, because you don't want to get a monopoly. They're trying to move it to like 80 something percent that they can own one company. Can you imagine if Sinclair owned 60% out of 80% or whatever? How often, if you wanted to get information out, if you're a right winger, how much access you would have to these crappy ass broadcast syndicate companies to be able to broadcast your stuff and not the Democrat stuff, not the facts, just broadcast lies and have 80%. Do you see how much control there would be that would kill First Amendment? That's why I'm totally against these mergers. They do not help the American people, only billionaires, only the millionaires who are involved in that. But yeah, I went off topic with that, but yeah. Oh yeah, his teleprompter stopped working, Dennis. He mentions that.
It would be beautiful. I used to talk about, I'm going to give you marble floors. They're going to give you terrazzo. I'm going to give you the best of everything. You're going to have mahogany walls. They're going to give you plastic. But they decided to go in another direction. You walk on terrazzo. Do you notice that? And I'm really good at predicting things, They actually said during the campaign they had a hat, the best-selling hat. Trump was right about everything. And I don't say that in a braggadocious way, but it's...
What other way is it? This dude thinks you can be humble by mentioning himself in the third person. Donald J. Trump. That's a humble. I was right. Don't want to brag, but I was right. I mean, I don't know.
It's true. I've been right about everything. And I'm telling you that if you don't get away from the green energy scam, your country is going to fail. It's time to end the failed experiment of open borders. You have to end it now. See, I can tell you. I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell. I ended 7 wars.
Your countries are going to hell.
And in all cases, they were raging with countless thousands of people.
Earlier in this conversation, or maybe later, I'm trying to figure out the timing. He says it was thousands of people. Earlier, I believe he said, saved millions of lives. Millions. Saving 7 wars, millions of lives were saved. Now this fool's in the thousands.
Being killed. This includes Cambodia and Thailand, Kosovo and Serbia, the Congo and Rwanda, a vicious, violent war that was, Pakistan and India, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, and Armenia and Azerbaijan. Everyone says that I should get the Nobel Peace Prize for each one of these achievements. What I care about is not winning prizes, it's saving lives.
We all know that's bullshit. That man who cares about prizes. This is the same fool that wanted to be on Time magazine so bad that he literally had a fake Time magazine cover made and placed it in his one of them was in his office, but the bigger one or whatever was in his golf course so that other people could think that he was in it. Same guy who called up the news and pretended to be a whole other ass person to say that he was a billionaire, just to validate it so that he can get into Forbes as one of the richest men in the world. He was nowhere near a billionaire at the time. The same man that wants the same trophies and awards and accolades that Obama got, not because he deserved them, because he believes being white, he deserves it. He wants to invalidate Obama's, Nobel Peace Prize. But Obama didn't expect it. Somebody else has to nominate you. So he didn't expect it. And he was pleasantly surprised. He wasn't out there saying, hey, guys, hey, you hear me? Can you hear me? Is this thing on? I want a Nobel Peace Prize. Can you do me a favor and go tell everybody I want one? Oh, when I walk into the room, I want you to say he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize, and then go out and say I need a Nobel Peace Prize, and then brag about you needed it. I can help anybody as long as they can nominate me for a Nobel Peace Prize. That's not the way Obama wanted. But see here, he don't care. As long as I got one, I don't care how I want it. If he could literally go to wherever the Nobel Peace Prize place is and steal it and get it engraved with his name on it, he would have no problems with that. And he would walk around, I got one. But he's going to sit here and give us a bold-faced lie. I don't care about awards. I'm trying to save lives. Really? What about the Venezuelan people that you shot out of boats and you still haven't proven that they were any kind of gang member or drug dealer? You just killed innocent people that we know of. You have no justification for it. And Pete Hegseth has yet to give out 1 ounce of evidence to prove that these people were a part of some cartel that they said he was. No evidence to say they just came from this cartel. They left this. Here's the thing that kills me. If you knew what they were doing, then you had to be following them for a while. So if you know where they came from, then why don't we have that video of them leaving the drug farm or whatever it is and going somewhere else? That way you can prove that that's what they were doing, but you can't do that. In fact, because you don't want to be found out for the fuckery you've been pulling, you're pulling out any reporters trying to find out about your processes in these particular wars that you're trying to start. And Republicans, understand something. Make no mistake about it. Donald Trump wants a war with Venezuela. He's been saying it for years. He doesn't like the president or the leader, and he thinks that it should be taken over. But why? I don't personally know. But I know he's got something for this dude. And he's killing his people, daring him to fight back. And I thought you guys wanted somebody who didn't want any more wars. You didn't want any more bloodshed on your names. Because everything Donald Trump does doesn't lie on all Americans. It lies on those Americans who voted. Now, perspective from overseas, it lies on all of us. Because they can't tell the difference between us and them. We're Americans. That's all they care about. Americans are doing this. The American flag is doing this. The American drones are doing this. And hence we are Americans. So you guys are in office effing it up for all of us. It ain't gonna be too long before some of these people who decide to go overseas and travel are gonna find themselves in a hostage situation or unalived. Because if Donald Trump can do it, the fuck if they can't. There ain't gonna be too many blowing the people out of the boat and them doing absolutely nothing about it. Best believe that. What happened here? Yeah, 11 people on a boat doesn't make sense at all. And anything, I mean, from just reading up on it and how they work, I've never been a part of any cartel, but just reading on it, it's usually whenever they have a load of something, it's as few people as possible. You don't want to have a shit ton of people because, one, you got too many. Each person that does this is valuable to them. If they accomplish the gig or what they're supposed to be doing, that's millions, if not tens of millions. And if it's a boat, probably 100 million. But that's a small boat, but still, if it's embedded in the floors and stuff like that, you're looking at tens of millions, if not $100 million, that they're going to bring 11 people on. No way, brother. It's going to be 1 or 2 people, not 11. The protocol is not the way, not unless they've improved their protocol in a different way, but just look it up for yourself. what it's usually like. And they usually say one or two people that they highly trust. And you can't tell me they trusted 11 people on one boat. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't add up. But again, all they got to do is provide the facts. And if the facts fit, we must acquit, right? That's how simple it is. But you ain't going to see that. You're not going to see that. Oh, yeah. He invalidated the Presidential Medal of Freedom when he gave it to Rush Limbaugh. It was insane. But again, these things they do is insane. So Donald Trump goes out and embarrasses America. There's no low this man will not go to. Keeps breaking laws. He talked about tariffs. He talked about, again, you saw here the wars that he solved. I've been trying to find out what wars this man solved. And there's been like 2 wars that were ended, but none of them that I've read so far, and that's another one, give him credit for anything about it. So I'm like, how'd you end something that nobody's giving you the credit for except for you taking it? Maybe I'm missing some other ones because he did mention 7. But everybody that I've watched, that I kind of trust what they're saying, is not true. But I'll do some digging in that one myself, but on a personal level. But the stuff I have come across doesn't say he did anything, so nothing of the sort. But that was preliminary. So I'll look into that and find out more. Throwing mine in the trash. If I get one, if I have one of those, I'm throwing mine in the trash, right? Medal of Freedom. It's like he should have never got it. But again, Donald Trump is a crook, a criminal, and that's why he has all these criminals in his office, because they're gonna allow him to be a criminal. And again, I'm gonna put it square where it belongs. When we talk about the Republicans, the old school Republicans, I'm talking to y'all. It's your fault. Liz Cheney's, the George Bush's, your party dying is all your fault. You guys should have stood up and fought for your party regardless of what the people were listening to, were believing in. You should have been that guardrail to say alternative facts are not facts. You guys opened this door. You let in these monsters, and we have to deal with them. And one by one, we got to kick them out. While you guys rest on your laurels and allow them to do what they're doing just because the hateful shit y'all want to do to people. Healthcare. I don't see you out there promoting healthcare and fighting for people. You did what you could on Kamala Harris's tour for trying to run the president, her run. You guys were there supporting that, but you didn't support in this situation. I'm guessing all the shit that he's doing, since how y'all haven't spoke about it. Adams, what is his name? Schlesinger, or whatever the fuck his name is. The Adam guy and Liz Cheney, ones who were working with the Democrats, trying to get the Democrats in office. You guys opened this door. You let this demon in, and it's up to you to get rid of the demon. We didn't invite the demon. You did. And you should be out there trying to destroy said demon. Out there trying to get the psyche of people who listen to his crap to wake the fuck up and realize you're destroying America by trying to say you're making it great again. You can't make something great again when it was never great to begin with. You got to make it great. You can't make it great again. We've gotten better, but we're not great. As much as racism, sexism, we're going back to just isms. We're divided amongst which restroom certain people can actually use. Whether a person calls themselves a male or female, pronouns, on and on and on. You have made this shit about being resistant to change. Most of you have no gay, trans, lesbian people in your family. And if anybody's gay, it's many of you MAGA. Now, this is something I heard. I did not fact check it beforehand. You can verify it for me if it's true or not. But I know the first thing is true. During the Republican convention, they broke Grindr. Now, they just had something else. The thing where Charlie Kirk's event, going home event, whatever that was called, the big extravaganza thing they did. They broke Grindr again. How often can you break Grindr? You put enough MAGA Republicans in a room in a convention center, and 2 times already they've broke Grindr. That's crazy. Grindr. Broke Grindr. I fell asleep, I'm tired. Broke Grindr. That is so fucked up. And they want to talk about gay people, and they're gay. The majority, not majority, but a lot of them are gay. Charlie Kirk's funeral, Grindr broke. A damn shame. And ain't nothing wrong with being gay. Come out. But you hate them. Why do you hate them so much? Oh. It's like, dude, come out already. The thing that gets me is that if you came out, you'd probably be happier. And you probably want to help people. Because I don't know all gay people, of course. But gay people that I know, I can't say I know all of them, but the ones I do know have good hearts. Kissinger, thank you, DJ, have good hearts. And I'm like, I don't know if it's because you holding yourself in that you gotta hate, because that's the only people who are gonna accept you. One thing I do realize though, we always go in, especially me and people like me, go in on these people who are against their own kind. Black people who we call, coons and all these different things like that. These people we go in on. But what I don't see, which we should see more of, is gay people going off on these gay people in MAGA that are going against them. MAGA wants y'all, if they could, they unalive you. How would you want to be a part of a party that wants to unalive you? A party that doesn't think that a group of your people that belong in LGBTQIA+ can't use the restroom when they need to use it, if there are not enough bathrooms around. And the sick part of it is, most of these straight men are the one out here hurting children. Yet they done casted it all on trans and gay because they think that somehow these people are like them. Just like they think many of us black people are like them. Like we're going to rise up and just go out and start unaliving white people. Going out and hating on these racist MAGA think that's the thing that we're going to do. That's not in our DNA. If it was, don't you think we would have done it already? What do you think we're waiting on? 450 years? On the 450th year, we're going to turn into white people and go out and do shit that white people used to do. We're going to go out and enslave some white people. We haven't done it in 450 years, and these fools still think we're going to do it. That's scared. Nobody ever accused him of being bright. Yeah, Vicky. I was thinking about the same thing. I don't know the facts on it, but some of the things that Mike Johnson talked about watching, you know, I don't know what I can say on this, but you know, the sex tapes, right, with your child that really isn't your child, that's somebody you adopted. Nah, that ain't a thing. I don't know about y'all, but that ain't a thing. That is not a thing. I would not, with my child, watch that. Don't know why that would be. I don't even watch it with my homies. You know what I'm saying? Ain't like, hey, come on over, man. We're going to watch this together. What are you watching? Debbie does something. Oh, really? Okay. Nah, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm going to go grab something to eat, take a nap. I'll talk to you. You know what I'm saying? There's no way in hell. It just didn't make any sense. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's some of the craziest things that go on in this world that I can't even address oftentimes because it's just so out there, outrageous. But if these people just came out of the closet and just be happy as they are, we wouldn't have all these grinders, first of all, clashing, but we wouldn't have all these bad people. I mean, it's like, dude, come out, be happy. Quit holding that shit in and being hateful. That's one of the things. Who didn't play Janet? And with his son, it is just odd. Yeah, that was odd. That was a funny statement. But yeah, it's been crazy, y'all. This whole day, I knew from when I saw Donald Trump giving a speech, I knew right then and there it was going to be an effed up day for America. That people were going to see us in a horrible light and we weren't going to be able to do shit about it. Nothing. All right. I'm going to get out of here. I got to put some medicine on this shoulder. This stuff is killing me. It's so painful. But as always, I appreciate y'all. We'll talk more tomorrow around the same time. Hopefully I feel better and get some sleep. I am tired, y'all. It's been a long, long day. It's crazy. When you're in pain, it takes a lot out of you. I get really, really tired when I'm in pain. And, you know, but it is what it is. Not complaining, just saying it is what it is. What did it say, Jeffrey Garrett? I bet those are part of the files. Oh, the files in Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago. I wouldn't doubt it. Oh, I didn't think about that. Maybe he did have the files of himself in the Epstein. I never thought about that. I've never thought about that. I gotta look that up. That's a good thought right there. I mean, again, I don't know if it's fact, but that's crazy. I gotta look that up. Maybe it was. That's why he was trying to hide it, but he probably would have tried to burn that shit. I think that man was trying to sell stuff, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll find out. You guys have a good one. I'm gonna go ahead and take a nap here in a minute, but y'all take a good one. I'll see you guys tomorrow sometime around 5:30ish. Hopefully nothing crazy pops off tomorrow, just be a regular day. But if it is, I'll be here to say something about it. Again, you can go check out my Avid Solutionist. We're gonna start working on that. Still building that stuff out, looking for property for one of the first solutions I'm trying to solve, but we're gonna have fun with it. And I appreciate y'all being here, and I'll see you guys sometime tomorrow. All right? Hope you guys have a good night. I'm not gonna do the fuck your feelings because it takes something out of me. It's gonna hurt when I move my neck. Get old, man. Shit just be happy for no fucking reason. All right. You guys have a good night. I'll see you when I see you.